Hey, welcome back.
Heyo.
Welcome back. Actually, welcome back is in a different term, not just welcome back to the show, which is Remain Rome Return, but also welcome back, Milo. What is up, buddy? Good to see you again, man.
Hey guys, yeah, nice to talk to you again. So, welcome back to America for me.
Yes,
Ooh.
the
Yeah,
the ultimate return.
hmm
yeah. At a time when everybody's like, "You're moving back now? What the hell?"
Now you chose. Okay,
Hmm.
all right. Have
Yeah.
it your way. So, all right, back to Seattle.
Hmm.
Is it
Nice.
weird?
It is, but it's not. What's funny is a lot of people have like, "Oh man, Seattle's gone to crap since you left," and all that kind of
hmm
stuff. And it has in some ways, but it's not as bad as everybody's made it sound.
Okay.
So that's good. At least I'm not like getting mugged and, some crackheads not trying to shoot me full of drugs. And
There's still time.
oh,
There
yeah, it's
is.
true.
You
Yeah.
just got back.
Yeah. Hasn't happened yet.
Now, a message from our sponsor. Are you interested in breaking into voiceover or elevating your sound, but on a tight budget? This could be the perfect opportunity.
Mike Payne is a seasoned voiceover expert with nearly 40 years of experience and is dedicated to helping talent shine. He offers top tier demo reel production for just $250 per reel and personalized coaching at $30 per half hour. This is ideal for beginners and seasoned pros alike.
For a limited time, listeners who mention this amazing podcast, Remain, Rome, Return podcast, can unlock exclusive perks.
What are those perks, Christian?
Well, Damien, let me tell you. The first 5 people to book one-on-one coaching receive an additional half hour free, and the first 5 to request demo reel production get $50 off. What a deal.
$50 off. Now, those are steals, baby. Do not wait. This offer won't last long. Learn more at mikepaynevo.carrd.co. That is Mike Payne with an E. Feel the pain at mikepaynevo.card.co. Now, back to the show.
There's still time. There's
Yeah.
still time.
Yeah.
What is a couple of things that people are saying that are so shitty about Seattle?
Definitely the homeless problem.
Okay.
And it certainly is a problem.
Mhm.
And it's funny because you see there's plenty of places for rent in the city,
Mhm.
but the rents are jacked up so high that only a certain few can actually afford to rent the places. So a lot of
Yeah.
landlords would rather leave the place empty than rent it to lower the rents and rent it to somebody. And I can understand both sides of this, by the way, too,
Mhm.
because we're a very liberal city here.
Mhm.
And so on that end, it's really hard to evict somebody if you get a
Right.
Yeah.
bad tenant in. So they want to be really strict about who they're renting to, but it also contributes to people living in their cars or
Mhm.
tents or doing the van life kind of thing as well. So it's both
Yeah.
sides.
Because I'm wondering with the homeless, I the PC term I've always heard was like unhoused, but then like anytime I said unhoused, no one knew what I was talking about. So I was like, this is the one time where my wokeness is going to come down because no one can understand me.
Yeah.
But kind of
That
like
and
you
the
were
dyslexia.
that and the dyslexia, that is very true. We're in-house counts no. Kind of yeah. We were talking. Do you notice that more of like the homeless population in Seattle is more of that like I don't want to say like new homeless, but where people maybe were hard on their luck homeless versus like as some people Fox News would say they're all drug addicts who are the homeless in Seattle.
Yeah, I definitely don't think they're all drug addicts. You certainly see a lot of that here.
Yeah.
Just the other day, I was standing out on the corner here, and there was a guy that was on something, literally wandering around in the intersection and stuff,
Mhm.
and people honking at him. So you definitely see the
Yeah.
drug addicts, but I think it's a lot of just unable to find affordable housing people. Uh,
Yeah.
there's there's a guy that lives in a van down the street from where I am, and I think he's got a regular job. I haven't really talked to him or anything, but it's a nice
Mhm.
van. It's like the Mercedes,
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
like
yeah.
the big Mercedes van.
Hmm.
And so he parks it in the bank parking lot on the weekends and sometimes in the evenings. But you can tell he must be working because he's gone during the days and stuff. And I think it just falls into that category that a lot of places are really. Uh, I'll explain it like this. So, like, when we were looking for a place, me and my wife, after moving here,
Hmm.
I mean, she works for Meta, so she's got a great job. I work
Hmm.
for myself, so I've got a shitty job, but still, we're decent, like,
Yeah,
people. We're decent tenant types, and we struggled to find a place,
really.
Yeah.
right? And so that's, I mean, and that says it right there. Is like, we're your ideal tenants, and we
Mhm.
still had a hard time finding a place to live.
Was it harder than, how does it compare to London? Because London is also known for having a really bad housing crisis as well, or like
Yeah.
rents are too high to actually be in London. Does it feel similar or different?
It's similar and different. Yeah, rents are too high. There, I'd say where we paid less in rent, but we lived in a much smaller place than what we ended up in
Mhm.
here. Um, I don't feel like we had as much of a problem finding a place there,
Mhm.
even though we were both immigrants, and
Yeah.
a lot of Brits are very snobbish about immigrants.
Hmm.
Not that Americans aren't either in a lot of ways, but like for us, it seemed easier to find a place there than here,
Wow.
Right.
which seemed weird to me because I'm from here and I never
Hmm.
had a problem finding a place before. And that's one of those big changes because now, like a lot of places, you do like apps, right? So we
Mhm.
went to
Yeah.
look at an apartment and they're like, okay, you need to download the app, enter your credit card information,
Yep.
scan it at the doorway, do the virtual tour, and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, this is ridiculous.
Do
And
you think that maybe, sorry to interrupt, but this
no,
actually just made me think about something. Do you think that maybe the lack of face to face interaction is part of why people just don't give a fuck if people have houses anymore? Like, oh, you think my rent's too high? It's not like you can say it to my face. I can do whatever I want. Is that part of it?
I think that's a valid point. Totally would agree with that. Yeah. Yeah.
Because looking at somebody dead in their face and being like, so this is a 65-year old 1 bedroom half bathroom apartment that you're going to have to shower in the kitchen sink, and it's going to be $4,000 a month. You would get shot
Hmm.
if you said that in person.
Yeah.
But I just don't think you have to do that anymore. So they're just like, I don't care. Somebody will take it, and if they don't, who gives a shit? I'd rather, like you said, I'd rather not rent it out than have somebody come in here and potentially trash it.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the places now too are owned by corporations and stuff. So
Yep.
you have a less,
Blackstone.
yeah, exactly. So you have fewer just individual people owning places. Like the place we ended up renting was this scenario where like
Mhm.
we went and we actually met the guy, and he's like,
Oh,
oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
okay, and then rented it to us. And we're like, yeah, see, that's the way I remember it being versus the other place was where you didn't even meet the person that you were renting from. It's online form, and sometimes they make it so difficult too. Like sometimes there are online forms and questionnaires and all this information, and it's just like this is ridiculous.
Well,
And
and also, where the
yeah,
hell am I sending this to? How do I
yeah, who has
know?
it?
Yeah, how do I know? You have all my information now.
That
I'm
was a
just
big
sending this out.
scam going around, was people doing like having fake listings for apartments, especially
Yeah,
like in Seattle or LA, where they made it like a like believable but low rent, and they were just collecting app, like, because you had to pay like $50 per
yeah,
app submission,
application.
and they were
Hmm.
just collecting money.
Yep,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
totally believe that's possible. One hundred
Again,
percent.
you're not handing $50 to a person who you are exchanging the information with visually. It's all over the internet where you're just like, okay, so I'm paying you, and I also don't know who I'm paying.
Yeah,
This is a strange bank.
yeah, yeah.
So it's like,
I know me and my wife, when we before we bought our house, when we were renting, we have a golden doodle, which is the most white people dog ever. But so many places have no dogs over 50 pounds,
Mm,
because like it's somewhat redlining esque of usually people like of marginalized groups have larger dogs, and so
mhm.
we had such a hard time in, this was when Ames, Iowa, so a college town. So there's no one really living there besides students.
yeah.
And like even then, trying to find a like place that would let us have our quote unquote vicious large dog.
Yeah.
Golden doodle.
It is a big dog.
Is it how
Um,
big is it? Because I would have pictured it. I thought golden doodles were kind of considered medium sized dogs.
It depends. There are like different levels. They are like miniature versions that are more, but we just went to the vet yesterday. He weighs 70 pounds. So
Damn,
that's a
dude.
big boy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Big pickle.
He is. He's a big.
You couldn't even attempt to pass him and be like, oh, no, no, no. He looks big, but really he's under
Yeah,
50.
it's all hair. It's all
Yeah,
hair.
exactly.
The hair
The
actually
hair
makes him
adds 10 pounds.
It probably does. He looks significantly different shaven versus like hair grown out.
Awesome.
So, other than the reason every city is going to shit because of the same reason that you just said,
Yeah.
is other than that, what are there any other things? Like, one of the things that I find a lot is when people talk about the city going to shit is like all of the businesses are closing. Is that part of it over there too that you've noticed? Like, do you have? Oh, here you go. Do you have any old staples that you used to go to when you lived in Seattle that are still open, or are they all closed?
A little of both.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's a cheesesteak place down in an area that's still open, which is impressive.
Hell yeah.
Um, there used to be this really cool hardware store in the U District, and it was one of those like old school hardware stores where you walk in and there's just old tools and stuff
Mhm.
everywhere. It was the coolest place. That
Mhm.
closed down. So yeah, it's definitely a little of both. Downtown Seattle, um, it's interesting. So I was here a few years ago,
Mhm.
and the homeless thing was a lot worse and it seemed very desolate downtown. It was
Mhm.
very post-apocalyptic. And over the past few years, they have made an effort to go through and clean it up because same thing, businesses were moving out and stuff, and so they're trying to revitalize it. I don't know. I'm curious where the homeless people are going because
L.A.
is that what it is? Because I think it's just really like as long as we
That
don't see you,
Right.
you know.
yeah, I was wondering that too because like LA I get for wanting to go there if you're on like if you don't have a house like weather's perfect pretty much majority of the time.
Yeah.
Seattle's not great for like it
Not at
doesn't
all.
seem like you would want to be there all the time for like how do you get out of the rain? Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
cardboard doesn't do well in rain.
A lot of tarps when I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue tarps.
Under interstates and highways and stuff. But a
Hmm.
lot of those have been cleaned out cruising down the road. I don't see a lot of homeless camps underneath the interstates anymore. So that's the thing. I don't
Did
know where they're going.
Seattle make it illegal to be homeless? Like I can't remember if it was like one of those.
Oh, it was one of the states that did. Maybe. I
I'm
don't
not
know.
sure to be honest. I
I
wonder if
remember
It's pretty
that.
seeing that in the news
progressive.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's,
progressive. I wouldn't imagine, but
mm,
maybe.
I don't
I
think so.
I do remember you talking about last time you were on the podcast how going to Seattle and like all these empty buildings because they like office space where there were businesses, then everyone's work from home. Is did Seattle become a big space where it was like return to office? Has that have you seen that as
Mm,
well?
Yeah. Amazon being such a big employer in the
Mm,
city, they're making their people go back into the office.
yeah.
So
of
that's one of the
course.
reasons why you're seeing a bit of revitalization now is
Yeah.
because of Amazon forcing people back into the office, which they're not happy about. The employees aren't. But I see the reason for it from the business
Hmm.
perspective. They got a bunch of tax breaks to move
Mhm.
into the city, and then if they're letting people work from home, it's not good for the city. But yeah, I have seen that, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's kind of starting to come back.
Well, I think that does because I'm also a mostly remote employee as well, and as much as I love it, and I do hate the whole like you have to come back to work just for optics essentially.
Hmm.
There is something that happens when you have a city full of people who are going places. And what happens is that now, instead of staying cooped up in your house, ordering things to the house, groceries, delivery, all this stuff, you're on your way somewhere. You may as well stop somewhere. So there's a lot more interaction. And I think it may actually turn out to be a situation where some of these struggling cities and struggling businesses they may actually see some improvement by having people out in the cities again because you're already out. You may as well stop for a slice of pizza or something.
Yeah, or the after work drinks kind of thing.
Mhm.
Sure. Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. So, remind me, how long have you officially been back now?
2 months.
2 months.
Yeah, our
Okay.
house is still full of boxes. We did two shipments. One was an air shipment, and that came within a month of moving here. And then we did a sea shipment that had most of our stuff in it, and that just showed up this week. So
Okay.
we've spent
So,
this week unpackaging And
Oh,
so,
luckily you live next to like in a major port city, so that probably
Yeah.
helped cut down on
maybe, yeah.
hopefully. Yeah. Yeah. How is that process? Like how much did you bring back with you?
The C shipment had 83 boxes,
Ooh,
Wow.
okay.
which they're decent sized
Hmm.
boxes. But when they package stuff, since the movers did it all, they really wrapped the crap out of everything.
Okay.
So you'd open a box and it's like 50% wrapping paper and 50% your stuff because they didn't want anything to break because
Right.
then they didn't have to be responsible for replacing any of it. So, like, if I were doing it, it'd probably be like half as much, if not less.
Mhm.
That's a good
And
point.
we probably brought more than we would have if we were paying for it as well.
Oh, okay. That makes a
Yeah,
difference.
yeah. So my
Oh, so
wife's
work pay for it.
yeah, exactly. Her work paid
Nice.
for it. So with that in mind, we're like, should we take that? Yeah, might as well. We're not paying for
Yeah.
it.
That's actually a great question, Christian, because I've we moved halfway across the United States from Nebraska to LA, and the shipping of our stuff was one of the most stressful portions of our entire life.
Hmm.
And so I was actually curious about that too, where it was like, how responsive was that process? Because I know when we were doing it, we would call, nobody would answer. We had no idea where our stuff was or when the arrival date was. Were they pretty between, they pretty up and up or not at all?
Uh, yeah. So the company that packaged everything up did all right, except for on the day of the packaging, we're like sitting there waiting for them to show up, and we're like, "Where are you guys?" And no responses or anything like
Yeah.
that. And apparently there was some miscommunication going on, and the guy's like,
Mm.
"Oh yeah, we're not going to be there till whenever," and we're like, "No, you need to be here like now. This is our stuff's got to go."
Yeah.
So once that got sorted, it was fine. Here was funny because the air shipment, when that arrived, they contacted us and were like, "Okay, your air shipment's here. We can deliver it next month." Like basically, this was in July, right, or June,
Hmm.
into June, and basically a month after it arrived, and we're like, "What? So it's just going to sit in your warehouse or something for like a month?" And we're like, "No, you got to.
Yeah.
That's the point of having this arrive is why is it arriving at the same time as the sea shipment then
Yeah.
basically. So there was that. They were kind of annoying on that end, but the actual guys doing the work were great. They came in, did all the stuff, and
Yeah.
cleared out. And
The
so
actual laborers are great.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
whoever the fuck is in charge of the actual
The
shipping and processing.
logistics.
Yeah.
yeah,
They are terrible. And I
I
think they get paid to make you frustrated.
yeah.
I guess this is a question for both of you because I've always been either too poor or too cheap to hire movers. How is it like people like packaging your stuff or like it just seems weird to me. I don't know why. Just being like,
Y'all let
yeah,
Milo go first.
yeah,
Yeah, I can see that, especially with some stuff. We're like, let's package that and then just tell them to put that box in the other box, kind of thing.
yeah.
Or like for me, like my electronics, right? I've
Mm,
got my podcast equipment, my cameras, all my gear and stuff. And so when they were packaging that stuff, I was like, I don't care about anything else, but this stuff gets wrapped well, right?
Yes.
mhm.
And so I kind of was watching them, but like we didn't bring much furniture, like that kind of stuff. I don't care about. Like for me, of let's say everything that we brought in total, 80% was my wife's and 20% was mine.
Yeah,
So
That's the way to do it.
that's
yeah,
about
so I
right.
didn't care too. Like if dishes, I don't care about the dishes,
Mhm.
and
Hmm.
so it wasn't too big of a deal for the most part. No, I
Yeah.
agree with your point, Christian, though, because you would think that'd be weird having somebody
It
handling
feels
all
so
my
like
crap.
personal, right?
Yeah,
Of like people like going through your stuff, and you're like, I'm paying you to do this. I'm paying for you
yeah,
to
yeah.
Oh,
look at.
for sure. And like, I don't know, with me, this is my first time ever hiring movers. So the whole process itself of like finding a reputable business and like I'm paying this much for this process. I mean, I do it with my buddies over pizza and beer. Like
Yeah.
this is
Yeah,
crazy, but the other part of it is my door just opened by itself. That is crazy. Um that that
you
scared me.
mean wind?
Yeah. Um but the good thing about ours was, yes, we had to ship everything from Nebraska to California, but we fit everything that was of essence into our car on the way out.
Hmm.
And everything that they were bringing was essentially like hand me down furniture and stuff. So it was like, I would prefer if it arrived in good condition, but it's also 15 years old.
Yeah.
and just is keeping us from having to drop $1,500 on a couch right now. So I wasn't too married to any of that stuff, but it is frustrating when you don't know when your stuff is going to be, and it's a month, and you're just sitting on the floor, being like, "Yeah, I could really use a couch right now."
Or utensils to eat food with.
That too, exactly.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. You're like, okay, I'm getting tired of the plastic forks. You run to, because you don't want to buy much because you got it coming, but like knives and stuff. And so we just go to the Goodwill and grab a couple knives and like a couple dish items just so we can feed ourselves for a little while.
Hand wash them.
Yeah.
With that, as did like Meta handle, like, it sounds like a lot of logistics of like, I don't want to say tariffs, but like there's got to be some fees of some like weird import fees.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, they handled all of that, which is nice. So I think because it's bought and owned, there was never any question of like paying like import tariff taxes or any stuff like that. Yeah, as far as I know, it was never really questioned. Our sea shipment or our air shipment did get, you could tell, some of it got searched because we got the box and the box had the side cut out of it and then was rewrapped.
Yeah.
So you could see that some stuff did get checked, but on the air shipment, but not the sea one. But yeah, they dealt with all of that. So I don't think it was ever really a question.
That's good. That's good. So 2 months back, you've kind of broken down some of the not so great things. Is this permanent?
At the moment, we'll see. I'm a bit of a nomad. So if I live somewhere too long, I'm like, where to next?
Yeah.
So it really just comes down to the downside of being married is that you got to get your spouse to agree to everything you want to do.
The old ball and chain.
Exactly. And so I'm already like, how about we go to Spain next? Huh? Let's look somewhere warm. Portugal, something like that. And she's like, how about we stay here for a little while before you start talking about moving somewhere else?
I guess also for her, has she ever lived in the States? I can't remember.
No.
So this is her adventure.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
a good point.
Yeah. So for her, it's a bit harder too, because she has like really good friends over there. So like I know people here already because I used to live here. So I'm like, well, here's my friends, and try to introduce it that way. But she doesn't really have her own friends here. So it's a bit harder for her, I think, when it comes to meeting new people. And then I found as an adult, it's harder to meet new people.
Oh,
yes,
100%.
We've talked about that on this podcast too, where it's like, whew, that's a tough one. So is the ingratiation into your group kind of challenging for her, or because they're your people, she feels a little bit more comfortable?
Yeah, she's certainly comfortable with them.
Oh, good.
Like a good friend of mine, his girlfriend and stuff, she's like, she's the best kind of thing.
Nice.
So yeah, they get along really well. But I barely like my own friends as it is. And so she'll be like, hey, let's hang out with them. I'm like, don't, we just hung out with them. Like,
yeah,
again, kind of thing.
That's Christian with this podcast, by the way. He's like, God, again? Another episode?
Oh, man.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. We're jonesing. Like, I was telling Damien before you joined, Christian, is I met Jamie earlier today for coffee. And we haven't recorded an episode of our podcast in months because we're both moving and dealing with all that.
Yeah.
And we're both jonesing to start recording again. We're really like, we got to get this coordinated. You got to get your gear. Because I'm using a temporary microphone at the moment. I don't have my nice one yet, or it's in the box and stuff. And we're like, let's start recording.
Yeah.
Need my fix.
Are you guys in person now?
That's what we were talking about, is like how, so I've got a good podcast mic. He does not. He's got like the same as this, which is a little USB microphone.
Sure.
And so to do in person, we'd have to figure out the mic system and all that kind of stuff.
Don't follow our lead on that.
No? Wait, what'd you guys do?
Oh, it was terrible. We tried to just use the same setup that we have remote.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't work.
So like two separate computers, like
Echo, get an actual, like, I don't want to say a switchboard, but a
mixer or something.
Mixer, mixer, like, and that would be much better than what me and I think me and Damien's mics both are like not mono, but the other one, like where it picks up everything.
Yeah, you got to get the one that's I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We're all podcasters. We don't know the proper terminology for the microphones, but like, that really
like unidirectional.
Yeah.
Yes, there we go.
Good job.
Yeah, unidirectional as opposed to multi, because realistically, I could get up and walk over there, and you could probably still hear me on this one.
Hmm.
And so, anytime Christian is talking, it's picking it up here, and vice versa.
Yeah. And then you got
But
that little bit of a delay as well from the
always,
one to the other. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
always. So with that, have you guys ever done in person stuff before? Oh, so this is going to be uncharted territory. I
Yep.
think. I think once you can get the technology figured out, I think you're going to really enjoy it better because as shitty as the quality was with Christian and I in person, the actual content itself was so much more fun to do.
Yeah.
Mhm. No, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah, we'll get it sorted, but who knows what we'll do at the moment?
Yeah, for sure. I know what you're doing at the moment.
Nothing.
You are plugging your
Oh,
brand new book,
yeah,
fucking Mr.
Ooh.
Author over here.
I do it all.
Yeah, man of many talents.
Mhm.
What is the inspiration behind this?
So
It seems like it's something about weather, but
Yeah,
it
maybe
sounds
we
like
say
it.
the title.
Yeah. So it's called Gray Skies, Concrete Dreams.
Ooh.
So it takes place in Seattle during the 2008 Great Recession.
Mm.
So it follows the main character. His name's Matt, and he works in your like corporate techie type job.
Mhm.
He's got the dream that you're supposed to have, right? Nice job, nice car, goes out with his buddies and stuff like that. But he finds it a bit kind of soul crushing.
Mm.
And so he's kind of falling into a downward spiral. He meets a girl. He's like, oh, finally, and it's like, she's like, no, dude, get your own shit sorted out,
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So I kind of describe it very much to Bright Lights, Big City.
Mm.
Yep.
Okay.
If you know that. So it's kind of similar to that, or anything by Bret Easton Ellis. Not as killer stuff, but as more like normal stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so it's along those lines. So that's where the title comes from. There's a lot of rain and just kind of
Mhm.
like dreariness in it. And when I was sending it to agents and stuff, one of them even responded to that. She was like, I really like the title. I'm not interested in representing the book. But
Oh.
good title. And it's like, thanks.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's 50% of selling a book is
That's true.
does it catch
Title.
people's attention, I guess.
I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So it kind of started, kind of started the idea back in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of NaNoWriMo?
Uh-uh.
I have not.
Yeah, it's National Write a Novel in a Month. And the idea
okay.
is in the month of November, from beginning of November, you're supposed to sit down and write a 50,000 word novel. And the idea is
okay.
about quantity, not quality kind of a
Mhm.
thing.
Sure.
And so I signed up for one of the NaNoWriMo events and I started writing this. And I didn't finish it. I got about 30,000 words done. And it was crap because you write it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then set it aside for years. And then a few years ago, I just kind of pulled it back out. And I'm like, I think there's something here.
Mm.
And then sat down and started rewriting it. And yeah, now
So
it's
you
done.
polished it essentially. So it was for that project. You put it away and then pulled it out and noticed there were some gems in there. Then
I noticed the idea was a gem. I noticed
Got
the I think it's something that people can relate to, especially even though it takes place I kind of describe it as like it was written now, takes place in 2008, but feels like it should have been written in the 80s. So
okay.
it's that anyone who works for a large corporation and kind of gets bogged down by like life and what we assume life is supposed to be like can relate to this novel. It's one of those it's not, and this is the other problem with it too, because everybody reads now. You look at like the top 10 best-selling novels on the New York Times, it's like fantasy or,
smut.
yeah, exactly, science fiction, fantasy, yeah, exactly, yeah. That kind of stuff.
My wife.
Yeah,
I think you mean every millennial's wife, because I
Yeah.
thought the same thing.
exactly.
That or true crime, essentially.
Yeah. And so it was funny because I was complaining the other day, or not the other day, this was a while ago, and I think I can't remember what the quote was, but basically somebody was like, she told me I was complaining about how like a lot of agents didn't want it, and she's like, well, that's because it's like realistic characters that people can relate to. And like it's like, of course they're not going to want that. There's no fairy fucking. That's what she said.
Right.
Yeah.
no
Oh
fair
God,
fucking,
that
yeah.
is too.
No
too
shark
accurate.
sex.
Exactly. So she's like, you just need to make a few changes, and then you're golden.
You
The
gotta add some
escapism.
fairies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was about to say, I wonder if that is like with everything that is going on, if people are like trying to more escape real life, and that could be the issue.
I think it is, and I understand that. I'm that way with movies, right?
Yep.
Like, and I've even said this, like, yeah, I go to a movie to escape real life. I don't want to
Mhm.
watch a movie that reminds me of real life, and
Yeah.
I can see that with literary novels and that kind of stuff as well. It's like, look, I want to escape. I don't want to like be like, oh yeah, I can relate to that. Thanks for
Right.
bringing
Yeah.
me down. Yeah.
I think there's a balance there, though. I want to relate to the characters in some way because otherwise I'm just reading about somebody else's life. And if I'm not in it, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
That's what I always say. That's why I don't like hearing about people's dreams.
Yes, totally, dude. I'm totally with you. Like people, like they start explaining you their dream, and like, oh,
Was I in it?
yeah.
Then I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's a really cool ambition. Now, as far as being an author goes, because I know you did, you wrote that in a month because of this like project type of a thing. But have you always wanted to be an author? Is that a path that you ever thought you'd go down?
Yeah, when I was a little kid, that's what I wanted to be.
No.
I used
Okay.
to when I'd go to my grandmother's house and she had an old typewriter and I'd type up little stories that I'm sure, were terrible and full of misspellings and grammar errors and all that kind of stuff. And she'd be like, "Oh yeah, great." But one of the first things as a kid, like they're like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" kind of thing. And besides entrepreneur, because you think
Mhm.
they make lots of money and they wear cool suits.
And it's French.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds cool.
Yeah.
Astronaut, obviously, because but
I'm gonna do a quick side tangent about astronauts because I have been thinking about this. Do you remember watching television like growing up and seeing the space camp like
Yes.
infomercials?
Yes.
Mhm.
Is that still a thing, or is that like I just remember that very specifically, and it like came up in like something recently, and I was like, I need to talk about this. And
How do you think Katy Perry went to space, dude?
Yeah, space camp.
And I just remember how badly I wanted to go to space camp, but also knowing my family could never afford that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they
Yeah,
even
was
made a
that
movie.
was that why you wanted to go be an astronaut because you saw those commercials?
For me,
Yeah.
I saw it just because, like, I think I watched Buck Rogers.
Oh,
He
okay.
was an astronaut before he ended up in the 21st century or whatever. Where's he went? 23rd.
20, I think 21st.
20, yeah, sounds right.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a cool, but like, come on, all little kids wanted to be astronauts, but like
Yeah.
realistically, yeah, I totally wanted to be a writer. And then I
just wanted to be an alligator.
yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Still can, man.
Yeah.
You live in LA, you can.
You be you. Exactly. And don't let anybody tell you you can't.
My pronouns are Allie/Gator.
Yeah.
You're just an Echo Park, just painted green, just
Rolling
chopping
around.
at people's ankles.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Okay, sidetrack. So, what were we talking about? We were talking about whether or not you wanted to be an author for a long time. So now that you actually have released your first book, I'm assuming your first ever like release, right?
It's my first novel. I did a book a while ago that's nonfiction called How to Manage Your Manager. All the credit, half the work. So it's kind of a survival guide in the corporate world kind of thing.
Okay.
That I wrote just from my time working in the corporate world. And
Yeah.
it's just a bunch of anecdotes and random useless advice and sarcasm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
so
that seems to be like, is that kind of your voice in writing is kind of more the realism, the corporate like stuff like that, or are you
It
interested
is.
in any fantasy fucking?
I am down for that. So I have started. So after writing this and getting rejection after rejection, and looking at what people are publishing, I'm working on it right now. It's a vampire comedy.
Ooh.
And
all right.
the concept is, so what if you're turned into a vampire at different stages in life or different whatevers, right? So there's like this like really old lady who has dentures, right? But she got turned into a vampire.
Yeah.
Or there's a girl that's a vegetarian and she gets turned into a vampire. She's one of them. And so this guy kind of ends up in this wayward house for these vampires that don't really have a good vampire place to go because they're kind of vampire outcasts.
Oh, like an
And
X-Men idea, like a boarding house.
it's a boarding house. Exactly. That's
I
what it
like
is.
it.
Yeah, and it's in the middle of Iowa, I think is where I said it.
Hey.
And he's surrounded by cornfields and just the random happenings of this guy that ends up stumbling across these people in this house. And then, of course, they have the nemesis is, of course, this old kind of Asian samurai kind of guy
In Iowa?
in Iowa.
Nice.
And they've got the vampire hunter guy that everybody's trying to get away from. So it all comes together.
Nice.
And the way that they learn their vampire ways is through the livestock, right? That's how they start. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Is there a baby that does not yet have teeth?
Ooh, I didn't have I have a little boy. I have a little boy, but I don't have a baby vampire.
I think a baby vampire would be so funny with just gums.
That's good.
The plight of needing blood but not being able to get it.
Hold on, I'm adding that.
Jot that down, dude. That's good.
I'm adding that.
Just say
you get no credit for this, by the
That's
way.
perfect. I wouldn't expect any.
But
that's one of the things I learned
baby
from your
with no
first
teeth.
book about corporate life and not getting credit.
Perfect. Vampire baby, no teeth.
Yeah,
Love it.
That would be good.
Yeah.
That
say
would
like
be good.
bottle full of blood.
Yeah.
All red.
Now that's what I call a formula.
Love it. I'm adding that. Yeah, that's great. That's brilliant. So this I'm writing for the sole purpose of trying to get sold, because that's the kind of stuff. There's still no fairies or dragons. I figure at least I can. I tried writing that kind of fantasy novel, and I couldn't do it. I'm just sitting down and I'm like writing this stuff, and I'm like, I can't. This is such crap. I can't get behind any of it. So then I turned it into a TikTok, or not a TikTok video, an Instagram video of like me pretending to write fantasy.
Yeah. Again with the sarcasm, I'm sure.
Yeah, pretty much, exactly. Like, oh, so and so, they're at the Vale and they get the sword of whatever, and ugh.
Whatever bullshit you guys want to believe.
It feels like there are maybe too
Eat
much
this
like
shit up.
made up words too, right? Like
Yes.
that's what it's all about. It's about names you can't pronounce, and then I read it weird because I have dyslexia, and I'm like, my wife had me read one of hers, and she's like, "You got to quit calling the characters the wrong names." Like, well, that's how I read it, and that's what it's in my head.
Yeah.
She's like, that's not how it's pronounced. I was like, I don't care. That's how I'm pronouncing it.
Just wait till
It's
the
a
movie
made up
comes out.
word. Doesn't matter. How do you know you're pronouncing it right?
That is true. I actually have gone through that scenario a couple of times where I read a novel or a book and then it turns into a movie and you're like, oh, that's the name. Okay. That is a little bit easier to say. But, I could actually see you writing something that is a mixture between your kind of it parallels between the kind of realism like corporate world, but in space.
Ooh, there
Think
we go.
like The Office, but in space.
In space.
I have to figure
I
that
see
one
you
out.
doing something like that, where it's just like
Space office.
yeah, like because space exploration is like man's greatest treasure, right? That's what everybody wants to do is explore space. But how funny would it be to write something where everybody who's involved doesn't give a fuck that they're in space and it's just a day job, and they're like, God damn it, I can't wait to get out of this cubicle.
Yeah, they're like just trapped in this like space with everybody else, and they're like, it's so cramped in here. They tried to take a crap in like a suction toilet, and then like accidentally flipped the switch off, and you got shit floating around everywhere.
Right, exactly. The 0G kicks in.
Exactly. Everybody gets mad at that.
No shitting on the space station. I told you this 100 times.
Who did this?
And Linda in accounting is still microwaving her fish.
Yeah. It sinks up the whole station.
No Saturn salmon. I said it 6 times. Quit it. Now that's gold.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
How is the process of trying to like get an agent and selling your book? It seems very vulnerable.
Yeah.
That's one of those made up words.
Vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
It's not that, but man, you got to be able to stand rejection. It's hard because one, you got to write a pitch about the book that gets them interested in wanting to read it. And so
Don't have Damien do it.
Don't do that.
Pitch man?
He just describes things terribly that actually are very good things, but he describes them so badly that I'm like, I'm not listening to that. And then eventually I do. And I'm like, you did terrible here.
Yeah.
Funny enough, Jamie's really good at it.
There you
So
go.
he threw like a little thing on our website for the podcast of the book and stuff, and he kind of rewrote my description of it. I'm like, dude, like you're way better at this than I am. Like you're my new pitch man. And
Nice.
so yeah, he's really good at it. But yeah, so you got to go through that. But and then you got to search like lists of agents and be like what they want, because they're all usually like, I'm looking for this or this, which is usually sci-fi,
Yep.
BIPOC sci-fi, urban sci-fi, fantasy, whatever, right? Like in those
Right.
categories. So you got to find somebody. In the case of this, is literary fiction, which nobody wants. And you just need to accept like it's they want some, and I understand here, because if you look at the statistics, right, out of all the novels that get published every year, right, maybe 10% of them make a profit, and that's not even make a crap ton of money, but that's just makes the publisher their money back and then some, make an actual profit. So it's very hard to make money as a writer and an author. And you hear like advice from like mainstream successful authors, and they're like, have a side gig,
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So I understand what they're looking for. They're like Hollywood. They're like producers, right? They're looking for a hit. And so to get them to take a chance on a book that's one in a series, it's not a series, right? It's one book. It's literary fiction, which nobody reads, by some guy that's nobody's heard of. It's really hard to get in and to get them to even like consider it. So I'm trying to be sympathetic to their point of view, but they're also a bunch of a-holes.
Vampires.
Don't take chances on something that's brilliant. Come on.
Well, that's the thing that I hate about it too. Brilliance aside, is just the fact that what you were talking about is like a guy writing something that nobody knows. It's like, can we fucking stop pretending like people who are people who are famous now, they weren't always known. I mean, unless they're like Nepo babies and shit, which I understand is a good percentage of anybody who's successful in the industry. But also, not everybody starts out being known. You have to give people a chance.
Yeah.
I also understand you can't give everybody a chance. But come on, like, how many people are like, you're not wasting that much time by being like, just put it out and see what happens.
I know.
You know?
Yeah, it's very frustrating, like the way it is now.
Have you self-published it, or are you still going to?
Yeah. I after about 50 rejections, I gave up. That's not a lot. I'm on like some of these writing subreddit groups, and there's people like 100 later. I finally got an acceptance letter.
Damn, dude.
Or like that kind of stuff. So yeah, people will send 100 queries out before they finally get a response.
I'm a one and done, man.
Yeah. Initially, I was going to do 10. That was going to be my limit. Then I'm like, okay, I'll do a few more. And then
what do you have to do to submit to an agent? Do you have to like make a packet?
Yeah, it's not too bad now. It used to have to mail it, right? So postage, but now it's all online. So usually you go to their website, and they'll have very specific instructions, and it might vary. It'll vary from agent to agent. So some will say, send me your bio, brief description of the novel, and the first 3 chapters. And it'll usually be through an online form. Some might do it in email. And they'll be specific too, because some will be like, don't send it as an attachment. Some will say, do send it as an attachment.
Interesting.
So for anyone considering, very carefully read those submission requirements. Because they'll use that as an excuse to cut you right there if you don't follow the requirements. But yeah, so you just start searching, and there's websites of like literary agent websites, right? Where you can search for agents accepting work. And then you just, in my case, I created a spreadsheet because you also don't want to like submit to the same one multiple times kind of stuff.
Right.
So I'm like, this is the agent, this is what they want, and then like I would submit that way.
That would be my strategy, is just keep submitting to the same one over and over again. And they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I just really need you. Like, you are
the person.
Yeah.
And they're like,
I had one, it was funny because his website, it was built on like a really outdated WordPress site,
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
you know, and like it even had the little WordPress
yeah.
logo down at the bottom kind
That's
of thing.
awesome.
And I was told him like, hey, you know, if you're interested, I'm pretty good with web design as well. So like you represent my book, we'll include like I'll redo your site for you as part of the
Oh.
package kind of thing.
Hmm.
And he replied, he's like, yes, I know, but my daughter's gonna redo my website for me. So it's
Oh,
like, oh
Oh,
man.
sure.
Yeah, right.
Sure
You're
she
lined up. I
is.
bet you if I went to the site now, it'd still be outdated.
It's
yeah.
definitely out there. Give me that. I'll put it up right here. I'll
Yeah.
put him on blast for all 6 people listening. That's 6 people not coming to you, buddy.
That's right, buddy.
With the responses, do some vary to being like almost like when you apply for a job where it's like very generic-y, you get like an instant email being like you aren't part of this, or like are some at least helpful, or are they just all like no?
It's the full range. Like
Okay.
some you don't hear back at all. Some are like, thanks for submitting, not interested, best of luck kind of thing. Some will actually give you a little bit like of
Hmm.
like, okay, you know, I like this or whatever. So it does vary. Um, yeah, you'll get the whole gambit. Most I would say are the generic form of thanks
Yeah.
for submitting. At this time, this isn't something we're interested in. Best of
Hmm.
luck, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Any desire to maybe create a book or a novel that then gets turned into like a series, whether it be a series of books and or a series on like television or picked up by Hollywood? Is that kind of the goal or no?
Maybe I think this book would make a great film.
Hmm.
Okay,
Honestly, like
like a film noir.
you know, not even a film noir, just like an indie film,
Yeah.
like just a nice low budget indie film, which means Hollywood wouldn't want it then either because you know it's not a big budget
It's
action film.
giving me like when you were talking about it, like late aughts, early like teens, like
Yeah,
of 20 like teens of like A24 kind of.
Mm,
before they went full horror type stuff, but
Yeah,
yeah.
like when
kind
they
of
were like more what I would consider like Wes Anderson kind of indie movie. That's what the vibes I would get from if it was a
mhm.
film.
Yeah, it's just kind of very along those lines. Me, I think my vampire comedy novel could be a series. How about that, Damien?
Mm.
There you
That could be a
go.
series. I
Now
think I
that.
could expand that world into werewolves, and we could follow
Ooh.
the vampire hunter around, or
Mhm.
the you know who knows. We could yeah. There you go.
Now that's a fun idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
There's a character in this novel. She only makes like a brief appearance, but she's a stripper,
hey, all
and
right.
I think her story is interesting. And so I was thinking like I wouldn't mind writing a prequel of her story.
Oh.
So maybe if I get motivated on that, but
Prequels are in right now too.
yeah,
They
exactly.
are.
They'll be like, oh, prequel to this book that nobody's heard of. Yeah, let's do that.
Hey, that's how everything starts.
Yeah.
We do know, so we could put you in touch with somebody who writes and directs and produces like independent movies if you'd like.
Oh, there you go. Sweet. Yeah.
See if you guys can
See if he
work on
wants it.
anything together. Yeah.
Yeah, I could play the boss in this book, like the main
Mm,
character's his
Mhm.
boss. I think I could do that pretty well.
there you go.
Hmm.
Just stapling stuff and
Exactly, and be like,
dead eyes.
I'm very disappointed
Yeah.
in the quality of your work. I
Yeah.
thought, you know, help me help you.
Yeah, there you go.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's hilarious, man. I love it. I'm gonna check it out. Definitely the vampire book.
Hmm.
Once that's
Mhm.
written, I'm gonna need that as well. Um, what is the plan moving forward now that you're back in the United States? Like you said, you're kind of self-employed at this point, and like what's the ultimate goal here?
Yeah, well, doing more podcasts. Well, so we're going to fire up the 80s and 90s uncensored here now that summer's over. So that's coming up.
Wait, you're allowed to pause a podcast and come back?
Well,
Damien said that wasn't allowed.
Only
technically,
when two people agree to do such things.
yeah. It was it was
Just
a
dragging me.
God.
it was almost that way. Like if the last season of our podcast, I was quite regularly like struggling to get Jamie on the show, and then there were a couple times I had to drag my wife in as a co-host, and I'm
Hmm.
like, Jamie bailed because he was moving and had a lot of stuff going on as well, So yeah, we're just doing reruns at the moment, and so
Okay.
we're calling it our summer. We're like a TV show, right? They do the
Sure.
reruns in the
Mhm.
summer back in the day.
All the
So
hits.
yeah, so that's it. So we each picked, I think, 8 episodes, 6 or
Mm.
8. I don't remember how many episodes we picked, and so we're alternating with the episodes we each picked. But yeah,
See, the good thing about that is that you guys actually have good episodes that you can put on repeat. We don't have that luxury here. So if we did that, it would just destroy us.
Yeah.
The only thing keeping us even mildly relevant is a new episode every week.
Mhm.
So people are like, all right, well, at least it's new. At least it's
Yeah.
something I haven't heard
It's
before.
not good, but it's
Yeah.
new.
At least
You
it's
know,
something. Yeah. So,
which is why I'm impressed that you asked to come back on. I was like, I mean, sure.
no, yeah, dude, I'm happy. Like, it's relevant. You guys are fun to talk to. It's good. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Hey,
Man. Yeah.
that's great. I love it. I do want to just be respectful of Christian's time for
Yeah.
a change.
Yeah. We
'Cause
can
I
push
know-
it a little bit.
All right.
Yeah,
I
but it's up to you guys, man.
Yeah.
I'm good.
No,
I
I have a few-
pitched the book. I pitched
Yeah.
myself. Whatever. I'm good for
Is there anything you miss from London since you've been gone for 2 months?
I do miss some of the friends I made there. So I
Mhm.
did make some good friends, which I do kind of miss. And I was really involved in like this community of like filmmakers and stuff. And we'd get together and do like little short films and that. And so I was really involved in that there. So I do miss that. I don't miss our flat. So yeah, I think that's it. The friends and the little group of filmmakers.
You miss Tesco's?
I don't miss Tesco. Mm-mm. Nope, I don't miss the Sainsbury or any of that kind of stuff.
You probably miss the beer though.
I'm in Seattle. You could get
Yeah.
That's true.
There's literally right around the corner from where we live. There's a really nice little bar that has a good selection of beers.
Ooh, there you
So
go.
we're good on the beer, and yeah, I mean, obviously the historic locations in London.
Yeah.
Right. And so I was just watching something the other day and they were talking about something that was in London. And I'm like, oh man, didn't get to see that when I was there. No, I want to see it.
Yeah, now I got to go
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. That kind of stuff. So yeah, that.
Well, you're
all
not too
those-
far from LA that has a lot of cool stuff.
That is a terrible segue.
And I love the pause after that too. I'm like, it's weird because like as somebody who also kind of wanted to be an actor, I've never had the desire to move to LA.
Yeah.
Like London, New York, even Chicago, but like LA has never interested me. I don't know
Interesting.
why. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know you live there. I don't want to like smack
I don't
on your
own it.
town, but it's never really appealed to me. There's stuff to see. You got the Chinese theater. You got the hands in the thing.
You do have the hands in the thing.
You got Marilyn Monroe's grave.
Yeah. You got a
Of
couple-
all things,
You got a couple of
that's
graves.
of like to go to LA. Marilyn Monroe's grave has never crossed my mind.
There you go. That's a reason.
Well,
to go.
that's part of his next novel. Is he's actually a necromancer and he brings Marilyn Monroe
Yes.
back to life,
Yes,
and then saves her from the evils of LA.
yes, that's on. Yep, I'll put it on the list.
See, I'm an ideas man.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good. I've
got all these ideas.
I've got the baby one.
Yeah.
that's the one.
That's
stealing.
that's
all.
1 for 3. That's not
Mhm.
bad odds.
That's not bad at all.
If I was pitching, I'd already have a job.
When the book comes out, you'll read it and you can be like, "That was my idea."
That was my.
Yeah.
And they're like, but you're not in the credits. No, but I did.
Yeah.
I told him about that.
You're
a long
going
time
to
ago.
say you're going to do a clip of this episode.
Christian
as
knows me
proof.
so well. Yeah, I'm going to timestamp it specifically.
Yep.
If this comes out,
Okay.
this is why.
Yes, that's me. That was all me. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
Well, Christian, any?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of being back in Seattle is I'm trying to think of other I had a really good question I was going to ask, but Damien interrupted me, which is pretty normal. for
Oh
this podcast.
bullshit! I don't interrupt you ever, dude.
Terrible.
I've never once interrupted anybody, especially on this podcast.
Yeah, I guess you said you plan to be in Seattle for quite at least
At least a
until
year.
your wife doesn't
Yeah.
want to be there anymore.
Yeah. which might happen soon. Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, we have to be here for sure for a year because her work
Mm-hmm.
moved us, and so that's part of the
Oh
commitment.
yeah, or you have to pay it back.
Exactly. Unless
Yep.
they lay her off, in which case, then we're moving somewhere.
Free
cheap. I
move.
don't know. Exactly.
Mhm.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
She's like, she's all stressed about it. And she's like, what if I get laid off? Because it's Meta and they're doing all these
Mhm.
layoffs and stuff.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
like, great. They just paid to move us here and then you get a severance. Sweet.
I guess how would her visa work then?
She's on a spousal visa. So since
Okay.
we're married,
Hey,
so
all right.
yeah,
Oh,
so
okay, that's
fine.
really nice.
Yeah, that's
Not
an
have to
issue
worry
at all.
about it being attached.
Yeah.
An F1B. That sounds
Whatever.
right.
I don't know. Green card. Yeah.
F1 is a racing
Mm.
Yes.
thing, Christian. Not,
Film,
not a
right?
visa thing.
Correct.
Yeah, with
Starring Brad Pitt.
Matt Damon. Oh wait, Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. Yeah.
I get those two confused constantly.
Yes.
I can understand that. They're very similar.
Yeah, two white guys who
yeah.
were in a lot of
Famous
movies, and
movies, action
Can't-
films.
can't
whatever.
seem to go away.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like on the subject of moving and moving back, like everywhere you go, there's going to be pros and cons,
Oh, yeah.
right? And
Absolutely.
so I guess that's the big one. But I would say the U.S. in general isn't as bad as everybody makes it out to be.
Agreed.
Like everybody's like about politics here, but I heard more people in London would bring up American politics to me than people here in the U.S.
Yeah.
Right? Like I don't talk politics to people.
Mhm.
And it's not, I mean, for any real reason other than that just people don't talk politics, or at least that I associate with.
Mhm.
I think there's an exhaustion about it too here.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
I think people are just so sick of it that people don't want to hear about it anymore. I don't know.
Well, I think I think a big part of that too is like the same way that Americans for some reason care about the royalty
Hmm.
the
in
royal
the UK.
family.
It's like it doesn't have any effect on you necessarily, but it is kind of like soapy and like you're keeping up with stuff. I wonder if there's a little bit of that. Whereas here, people are like, I could talk about it all day. It's only going to piss everybody off. I'm going to lose my friends, and nothing's going to change anyways.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of why we don't talk about it on the podcast that much.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that too. It's like, look, we're not going to agree, or we will agree. So we're just
Mhm.
speaking to the choir. If we
Right.
don't agree, we're not going to change the other person's opinion, and
Yeah.
it'll just turn into an argument. So
Mhm.
what's the point?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, like you have homelessness in London.
Mhm.
You have it here. You've got dickhead landlords there, like you've got here. It's like
Mhm.
you can get good Indian food in both places. So everywhere has its pros and cons.
Yeah.
Although taco trucks here, man,
So good.
and I just want I'm in love with the taco trucks now.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess
yeah.
that was a thing. I was only in England for like 6 months, but like I had a like really shitty burrito in Scotland because there was a Mexican restaurant,
Yeah.
and I was just so happy because I was like, oh, Mexican, because I just didn't have it for so long.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then it probably was a terrible burrito, but to me, it was one of the best burritos I've ever
In
had.
Scotland, no way, dude.
I-
It was
yeah,
probably
I'm hard to
creme de la
believe, too.
creme. That is the thing about if and when we ever do leave LA, because we've talked about it quite a bit, especially recently. We're like, I don't know, what do you think?
Mhm.
It's funny because there's so much Mexican food here that we actually don't eat it that often because it's like it's everywhere. It's all the best Mexican food you're ever gonna get. I do wonder how that will be if and when we ever move somewhere else. Like, man, I miss Mexican food because now we don't eat it that often.
It probably would be depending on where you go. Yeah.
Yeah, go to freaking Nebraska and eat a Romeo's taco pizza.
That's because you were in West Omaha. If you go to like South Omaha, I'm going to stick up for Nebraska in this standpoint because Nebraska is a very migrant heavy state because of the agriculture and cattle. And so we have some very great taco trucks.
There you go.
That's true.
Damian.
That is true. I take it back. Thanks for putting me in my place, Christian.
I will stand up for Nebraska in that standpoint. Not a lot, but that one.
Did kind of make me want a taco pizza now, though, too. Like Mexican pizza.
With or without lettuce?
Oh, man. Probably without. Yeah, it's been a while since I used to work for a pizza restaurant and we made one. And I'm trying to remember if we put lettuce on it or not.
A lot of people say without lettuce.
You go lettuce?
I go lettuce.
All right.
Something about the hot lettuce is delicious.
Okay. All right. See, I think if I went lettuce after it came out of the oven, it'd be all right. Because I
so
also
it's
like
still
my
nice and
tomatoes
crispy.
after they come out of the, before the oven as well.
I do also agree with that as well.
Yeah. But I like the crumpled up tortilla chips on the top of a taco pizza.
Yeah.
About that.
So here in the Midwest, there's a gas station called Casey's that is actually one of like top 5 pizza branches, even though it's a gas station because they sell it. But they're known for their taco pizza. But they use crushed up Doritos.
Oh,
yes.
Because it's the most Midwest thing. Like, they literally go grab a bag of Doritos off the shelf and like crush it and then put it on the pizza.
Nacho cheese, at least? Not.
Yeah, nacho cheese.
Okay.
Speaking of that, how do you feel about the walking taco? Did you ever have one of those?
I don't think so.
It's the
It's a
little
Midwest
single
thing.
serving bag of, it's like, what are those corn?
Fritos.
Fritos. And then they put taco ingredients in there and you like eat the Dorito or whatever, Fritos.
They call it a walking taco. Essentially, it's a walking weird nachos.
Right. And aren't all tacos able to be walked with?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I guess. I've never heard of that, but I feel like I need to try it.
It's a very Midwest, like, concession stand of any high school sporting event.
Okay. Walking tacos.
Yeah,
Right.
Where it gets bad is when they put the sour cream in the bag.
They do. Yeah.
That I don't like. Like,
right.
it's too messy.
And then like a squirt of the nacho cheese.
That part sounds good.
Just do that right in my mouth.
Yeah, that's what I love about 7-Elevens, that nacho cheese out of the pump. Good stuff.
Right on that nice roller glizzy.
Yes.
Little nacho cheese hot dog. Oh my God, man. Now we're talking.
Do they still do the chili out of a pump at a 7-Eleven too?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So it's been a while,
Or at least at the gas. We don't have 7-Elevens in Nebraska, but all the gas stations here do.
Okay.
It just makes me think about the consistency of that chili.
Oh, I know.
Don't
The fact that it comes out of a pump.
Don't think about it.
No.
Don't think about the consistency of your chili. Just eat it.
Just eat it. Just pump it.
And I've said that.
Nachos.
Yeah, I've said that for years too.
Yeah.
It's not the first time I've ever said that.
Nice.
All right, everybody. Thanks, Milo, for coming back on, man. It's good to hear from you. Can't wait to read the book. Can't wait to see what's next for you. Go ahead real quick, plug everything one more time, and then we're going to get out of here.
All right. The book is Gray Skies, Concrete Dreams. Jump over to milodenison.com. You can find links. Jump over to Amazon, whatever. Just do a search. It'll pop up. The podcast, the 80s and 90s Uncensored, that you will start hearing some new episodes in September.
Coming back at you.
All the good stuff.
All right, everybody. Thanks again, Milo, and until next time.
Bye.
Bye.